Hi guys, it's Orville Edward Woolcott here. Welcome to the first of my free video training on how to make money online very quickly, very simply and very easily. Now, before I go into it, I want to congratulate you for coming to the first of these videos. Let me tell you a bit about myself. Now, I don't like boasting, but I think it's important that you understand that everything I'm going to say in this and the next few videos is a 7-day series, one per day. None of it is theory. All of it is factual. What I do is I help people, and have done for the last few years, all over the world to get incomes per sale of 1,250, 3,300, 5,500 and even $10,000 per sale, for example. And I don't say it to impress you, but just to give you a taste of what can happen for you. I think of Deborah Shaw, who made her first $3,300 sale. I think of Andrew Clark, who, following the same system that I'm going to show you, has made $8,800, and most of these people and many, many others had either failed for a long time or had never ever had results before. So I could go on, and I don't want to stand here and boast too much, but I've had the pleasure of helping people all over the world, from across America, Europe, Malaysia, build businesses and use life-changing income using this system. So that's important to understand where I'm coming from. But let me just first of all get straight into it. This is the first of the training video series, which is going to take you from point A to point Z in terms of the basics of how it all works when it comes to building a successful online business very, very quickly. So first of all, everyone starts somewhere. I remember when I first started, you start here, which is making no money and not having a clue what to do, and progressing into over here as to when you can make lots of money. But there are some basic things to understand in the process of actually setting up an online business and running it profitably. So the first stage over here is understanding the internet process. And by the end of this video, I want to keep it fairly short, but by the end of this first video, you're going to have a very good understanding of the framework of how any internet business works. So the first step here is what's called the internet process. Now, if I just go over to here, this is the internet process. First of all, you're going to have a website. And on this website, you're going to have to get people to visit the website, what we call eyeballs or traffic on your website. Now, you have the website, you then send people to this website, what we call traffic, because it doesn't matter how good your website is or your offer, unless you consistently have eyeballs on it or people looking at it, you're not going to make any money. Now, that's one of the reasons people often fail, because no one tells them that. They just think if they have a really, really good offer, that could be weight loss, that could be the area that I'm in, which is online education consultancy and showing people how to build a business quickly and coaching, whatever your offer is. If you don't have consistent traffic going to it, you are going to fail. So that's the first lesson you've learned that most people don't know. I think, for example, of Chris and Mark, who I mentored, who had a brilliant website, but then when I did consultancy work with them, they didn't have enough traffic. They followed precisely what I'm saying and now getting paydays consistently of 8,800. Again, I don't say it to boast, but to let you understand, nothing of what I'm sharing here is purely theoretical. It's all factual. So back to this. This is the process. It always works, whatever successful thing you're building. You then first of all got to have traffic to the website. Now, once they come to the website, people are then going to arrive at what we call a squeeze page or an opt-in page or a landing page, because they're going to give you two things: their name and their email. So you want their name and their email. Now, this is gold dust, because once you have their name and their email, you can then begin sending them emails once they go onto what we call a subscriber list. Now, a subscriber list, all that is simply a list whereby the person's giving a list with the person's name and emails on. That can be hundreds or that can be thousands, depending on the size of your business. Now, the next thing you then need to do is then start emailing your list. That's the next part of the process, which is emailing your list. Now, this is very, very important. Like I said, nothing what I say is theoretical, it's all practical. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to tell you this. You need to email your list once a day. I work with people who they've emailed their list only once a week. It's not enough. It needs to be once every single day. Now, this is very, very important. Why? Some estimates are that the average person may get between 30 to 40 emails per day. If you're emailing somebody just once a week, it's not enough, because you need to start building a relationship with them whereby the person begins to know you, like you, and trust you. I want to say that again. People need to know you, like you, and trust you before they're going to buy from you, because the way human nature is we tend to buy from people who we feel very comfortable with. We've got to know them and like them and trust them. Think about where you do your groceries, where you get your milk, where you get your groceries and so forth. Is it because that supermarket or that mall, is it because it sells the very best milk or the very best water or the very best fruit? Not likely. It's most likely that you keep going there because you know the people, it's close to where you are. Maybe the people, when you go in there, they smile at you. There's a bit of a rapport going on, so you feel comfortable. The same thing works online. It doesn't really matter if it's online or offline. Human psychology is the same. We want to feel comfortable with people before we buy. So emailing once a day is absolutely crucial. I think with my earlier businesses, when I had superb offers and I struggled initially, and when I had mentoring from seven-figure income earners, and they said, Orville, you're not emailing enough. It needs to be once a week. Once I did that, my business went through the roof. And I want the same to happen to you. Now, once you begin emailing them once every single day, they then go into what we call the buyer's cycle. Now, this is important to understand, the buyer's cycle. All because someone has given you their name and their email address on an opt-in page, and you've started emailing them, it does not mean they're ready to buy straight away. This is really important to understand. You see, I think of Mark and Susan. They started their business and no one had taught them this. This was a previous business before I mentored them. And what they did was they quit. And I want to share this painful story with you. They had someone on their list and they only emailed them for 2 weeks. And because that person didn't buy, they stopped emailing them. That person then went over to someone else's business and then spent in excess of $5,000. I want to give you another example. There's a guy named Jonathan, a chartered accountant. Now, this is a very extreme example. Jonathan, he didn't open an email or didn't respond for up to 3 years. Now, that's rather extreme because industry figures show amongst top earners that most people take, on average, 7 exposures to your offer before they buy. On average, 7. There are some people who will buy straight away, but in reality, that's rare. Most people will need to be exposed to your offer round about 7 times before they buy. Jonathan, literally, for 3 years, did nothing. And then eventually he bought and spent up to $30,000. Now, of course, that depends on the program that you're in. I help build people teams very quickly, and depends on the price point of how profitable your business is and the offers you have. But can you imagine if I'd stopped emailing him, all because he hadn't responded straight away? So it's important to understand the buyer cycle, and that is that people are ready to buy at different stages. So you need to keep emailing them every single day. You need to start building up as well a social media presence, which I'll show you how to do, either using Facebook. That's really brilliant, just simply posting once a day. Therefore, like I said, with Facebook, it simply gives people another angle to get to know you and like you and trust you. So with the emails daily plus Facebook, people begin to feel more comfortable with you. I will show you as well in separate training how to use social media, but I just want to outline, like I said, this very, very simple process, therefore it's clear in your mind. You've got a website with an offer. You then send people to that offer, eyeballs, and it's got to be every single day, and we'll show you how to do that in a separate video. And then for something of value, this is the key thing. People will only give you their name and email if you're giving them something of value. That could be a free video training series like this. That can be a free ebook. That could be a number of other things which are free but valuable. It's got to be valuable, helping them solve problems, showing them how they can do things far more quickly, far more easily. And I can show you how to do that. When you give those away, then people then leave you their name and email. They then go onto what's called a subscriber list, which actually means you've got a list of name and emails. You then send them one email per day, something of value. And then once they then go through that, they then enter what's called the buyer's cycle. I'm going to do a separate training on email marketing because there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, which I'll go on to at a later point. Now, back over here, once you've got you understand the internet process, the next process I want to talk a little bit about is about technology. Now, you might be thinking, Orville, I hate technology. Well, that's because you've got to understand that the nature of this business is we use technology to make our lives a lot easier. And I just want to give you one example and then move on very quickly. Years ago, when you started an online business, you had to master a whole number of things. For example, how to build a website from scratch. And that could take up to 6 months. Most people coming back from work, really, really tired, up to 6 months. Now, the businesses I'm in, they have websites built for you. When it comes to creating a sales page, it's all done for you. But I want to talk about one piece of technology which you cannot do without, and that is what's called an autoresponder. Now, remember in the first stage I showed you about having a list. You cannot physically send an email to 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 people. It would take forever. So one piece of technology which you need is what is called an autoresponder. Now, an autoresponder simply allows you to write one email and send it out to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, depending on the size of your list. Now, there are lots of them out there. There's GetResponse, there's Aweber, there's Infusionsoft. The very best one I use is Aweber. I can give you a link to that in a moment. But what this does, this is technology which is really, really easy to use. And I'll do a separate training on that as well, whereby it's really, really straightforward. But what it does, this is the key thing, it saves you time. Because in business, time and money are two commodities. The goal is, and my goal is, as I've done for Deborah, for Michael, for Chris and Susan, many others, is to help you make money as quickly and as simply as possible. But you've got to follow the right coaching. You've got to follow the right system. And I like to keep things simple. So the technology which we use, and as one example would be using an autoresponder, it makes it quick and easy. Think about it. As you grow your business, would you want to send, you'd be on Google Plus or Gmail or Yahoo, trying to send one email to 1,000 people individually? It would take forever. So therefore, this technology makes it really, really straightforward and simple. The third stage is learning how to market. Now, I do a separate training on this, but when it comes to knowing how to market, there are lots and lots of ways that a person can actually, market. You can use YouTube, you can use Facebook pay-per-click, you can use Bing, you can use LinkedIn. You can do what I recommend strongly is paid advertising, because it's a lot quicker. It's the fastest way to grow your business and get a list of subscribers and people you can start emailing to, building a relationship with, and therefore they start buying to you, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't care what anyone else tells you, paid advertising is by far the best. But the key thing is this: the program which I'm part of, we're going to show you how to focus just on one method. You see, lots of programs out there, the problem is that people are trying to master. This is one of the reasons when I've worked with people that they fail. And I used to be in a failing situation before I am where I am now by making thousands per day. I tried to master Facebook pay-per-click and YouTube and Bing, and your head's exploding. I mean, most people, they work a 9-to-5 job. They come back from work, they simply just don't have the time to try and master 4 or 5 or 6 methods. Master one. Keep it simple, and I'll show you how to keep it really, really, really simple to do that, and then how to start driving traffic and making money really, really quickly. You know, I think of a guy named Henry. Henry had struggled for a long time, and I sat down with him and showed him, here's what you're doing. You're trying to master too many. When he got his first $5,500 sale, you know, it's funny to hear a guy scream with joy, but you know, when you struggled for a long time and you then make 5,500, you can't help but scream. I must confess, I'll never forget the first time I screamed when I got my first 1,250 commission. And that's exciting because what we have a sales team who will actually do the selling for you. And I'll talk more about that in another training, because another reason people fail is because when it comes to picking up the phone and speaking to people, they're terrified. Their heart begins to beat. They begin to sweat. The idea of picking up the phone and speaking to a total stranger to close a sale terrifies them. We have a sales team who do it for you. And guess what? All the people I've mentioned, my team and myself, all the sales, all the commissions we make, I rarely pick up the phone. The sales team do it for me. I mean, I do enjoy speaking to people. So when you get in contact with me, I will speak to you. But if you're someone who you're saying, Orville, the idea of picking up the phone terrifies me, don't worry. We have a sales team of sales coaches who will do all the selling for you. So you never need to pick up the phone. The last point which I want to finish on, which is really, really crucial, and that is this. It's having very, very good habits, daily implementation. You know, people like myself who are successful, and I'm doing this because I want you to be successful when you join my team, is this. There are daily habits. Number one, I start every single day with a mindset, which is making sure my mindset is right. There are certain books I read. There's certain YouTube clips I listen to make sure my mindset is right. My mindset, what drives me, is it the money? Well, I suppose, yes, it's a business, but primarily for me, I just love and I'm powered by empowering people, helping people, ordinary people, to reach their financial goal. I love it. I love helping people achieve and see that, you know, the sky is the limit once they have the right training and the right mindset. Mindset is absolutely crucial. Wanting to serve, a mindset to serve others, a mindset whereby you aren't putting your money first. If money is the most important thing to you, it comes across with people, it turns them off. You've got to have a mindset to want to genuinely help people achieve their goal. And that's why all the people I mentioned in my team and many, many others, I take such joy in seeing them, especially for me, when people have struggled. And that could be someone who's been in the business for a while. And that could be someone who, you know, they have an ordinary bricks and mortar business. That could be someone, maybe you're one of them, you've tried other things and you failed, and you're thinking, Orville, can it work for me? You're thinking, let me just try it one more time. Well, I'm really, really glad that you've come to the first of this video training series. Now, when you click the link below, you can then go on to the next of the video training series. But I'm going to be talking about something else which is really, really, really important. Obviously, I can't fit everything in here, but what you've got from me this morning or today is the basics, but the fundamentals of how an internet business works successfully. And if you then click it below, you're then going to go on to the next video, which is going to be even more exciting and informative. And I hope you got lots of value from this. And if you did, please, by all means, share it on Facebook, share it with friends, and click the link below, go through to the next video. I look forward to actually helping you even more and showing you, you know, the basics to actually build your business and move forward. Bye-bye.